Test. Okay. Hello. Welcome, guys. Had to fix something on my mic, but it works now, I think. Are we starting with a build from Faust? What is this? I think it's possible to make Payback overpower every hit with banished swords. Boah. Yeah, that is probably a good idea, to be honest. As long as they're not nerfing overpower, which I don't know if they will. Overpower builds in general are pretty good, because you get ridiculous amounts of additive damage. You can use the ring that gives you plus 50% maximum resources. You can use 3 or even 4 points of the Shadow Falls Death in the passive that gives you plus 10 maximum. Yeah, but reaching 275 resource is still tough. And you give up your weapon and your amulet. But it's definitely a nice idea to build around. Yeah, and Shaco. At that point it gets kind of costly to do this. Is a GA triple masterworked? What is the resource here? It says 0 for some reason, that's cool. Okay, let's count. So you have the 50 maximum. Well, there's another ring you need, by the way. You need the other ring, else you're not gonna... Like, how are you gonna generate that resource? You need the Midnight Sun as well. Is that the one? I think that's the one. True, the staff also has vigor, I forgot about that. Okay, maybe it's not so hard to achieve. But yeah, the problem is you need to have this ring and the other ring. And this neck. So you have no resource tempers at all, which are very powerful in this class. And you have literally a single aspect. Which would be the Payback one. Yeah. It's a funny idea. Is it gonna be better? I guess there's a bit of hope for this. Like, if they nerf additive damage values and glyphs a lot and these kind of things, but they don't touch overpower at all, then overpower builds will be relatively cracked. But yeah, I mean, you lose so much. You have a Harlequin that you don't really want. You know, this could be a Harmony, this could be a Loyalty even, I guess. It could be like Jaguar. Like, for some reason, running Jaguar primary instead of Jaguar. You're running Gorilla instead of Jaguar. Why? Are you trying to make a Thorns build, I guess? But you're playing Kepeleke, so no Thorns here, I think. And you're playing Overpower, so definitely no Thorns. This should be Jaguar, and this should be a Loyalty Helm, if you can somehow get to 275 resources. Mother's Embrace. No, you need... Okay, if you want to make a build like this around the Rod of Kepeleke, the only way to do this that makes sense is this one here. The Midnight Sun. Like this, you can get infinite resource, basically. Like you attack, you crit, you get it back. Well, okay, given that this interacts with the Kepeleke, but I'm just gonna assume it does. If it doesn't, then F anyway. But yeah, this is the way to do it. This is how I would build a Payback build. But I wouldn't do this ring. And I probably wouldn't do overpower, but yeah, the overpower stuff could be an interesting idea. But it's so costly. Okay, how much resources is this? This 53. I mean, we could even do this. 65. And then we can do 40. So this is 200. Actually, you can get away with this with just the weapon. And then the ring for the plus 50%. And then you can still go with Loyalty Helm. So this is probably what I would do here. And then you go Jaguar. I mean, Jaguar is not that crazy when you don't have a normal weapon to also temper the Jaguar potency. But it's still pretty nice. You go from double damage to triple damage, basically, with the primary. You get the ferocity, I mean, okay, we don't have really a lot of space for it, and then you do payback. But yeah, it's not really worth it. There's some really strong aspects. You don't have planes power, you don't have unyielding hits. You're playing a gorilla build that doesn't have unyielding hits, so that's also kind of weird, champ. Unyielding hits could be better than overpower, for example. But it's a funny idea. It could be good. But yeah, you don't need stuff like Vega per second here, by the way. I think that Rod of Leke plus Midnight Sun, they will just give you infinite resources, and this is the only way to, you know, generate and then spend like 275 per attack. I mean, the stats are not bad on this thing. The ranks of core skills are nice. Life is okay. Attack speed is okay. 60% damage bonus is like not really great for Spiritborn standards, but it's something. But yeah, no unyielding hits is kind of sad, because you need double unique ring to make this work. Unless you get boots that have like maximum resource or something, but I don't think that exists. Yeah, Witcher Glyph is certainly insane, and Colossal is also really strong. I put him in like basically every build. I think the Vessel of Halo campaign is the same length as the Diablo 4 campaign. Nah, it should be shorter, I think. It's just the expansion. It's only like, well, I guess largely located in one zone as well. Unfortunately, every cooked build for Spiritborn will be nothing until you find a bug mechanic that will grow DPS to the sky. Well, it seems like they are definitely trying to polish Spiritborn quite a lot for release though. Like, I know they've done like multiple passes on balance alone already, and they're still doing that until launch and stuff like that. So some of the things that we see here in the planner right now, I know are already going to be outdated. Find a bug with the character as much as you can until fixed, and find it next, and so on. Yeah, I mean, this is like how some people play the game, but not everyone, you know? Not everyone just plays bugged builds all the time or something like that, so... Payback of Aspect of Simple Reprisal and Aspect of Bristling Vengeance and Sepan Sontek. But then you can't spam Payback, so what are you trying to do exactly? Do you want to play with the cooldown? I mean, even with a 75% cooldown reduction, Payback will be 3.75 seconds. If you play with Sepan Sontek instead of Rod of Kibeleke. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I trust these Thorns builds that much. Like, you can add so much base damage to your attacks with unyielding hits. I mean, there's Bruiser's aspect, which is nuts. So if you go Jakim's Shell, go low life, you play Bruiser's aspect on the neck. I have like a build like that somewhere. So yeah, you can get a lot of Thorns. Or you just go no low life shenanigans and wear Razor Plate. That's like the other option. I mean, Generator will spam paybacks. Yeah, I wouldn't really trust that very much. I don't see how this is gonna outperform like an actual normal build, like a core skill build. Yeah, Payback has relatively high base damage, but it's like not enough to warrant like losing a weapon slot, for example. Like a weapon slot alone, if it's like a legendary weapon, it's probably like a, you know, times 5 or something, or more in most cases. Because you have double cast, you have the stats. You also, all these unique weapons have 0 life. So in most cases, like losing the weapon slot is like already like half your life gone. And stuff like that. Yeah, you can make like a build where you spam Rock Splitter and you have Payback on the bar. But realistically, if I went for like a Rock Splitter Thorns build... Okay, maybe. They'll probably use Sepan Sontek in that case. Maybe not, but maybe. So let's say you do that. I haven't cooked a rock splitter build yet. Yeah, Seven Sonntag, simple reprisal, but this is only 30% chance. It's not that great. You need to attack 3.33 times to get 1 payback. And since you're running Gorilla with loyalty, you can just as well go for the cooldown as well, right? You can cast payback every 3 seconds, 4 seconds. And then they proc it sometimes. But yeah, I mean, look at this. This thing has nothing that helps you for payback. Absolutely nothing. But it does do Rock Splitter. But fine enough, you're not even going for Rock Splitter. Why not? You should go for Rock Splitter, not for Fresh. You need Rock Splitter. This has Thorns. You also have Wound Drinker with Toxic Skin on the bar, which also doesn't make any sense, I think. I mean, okay, you get Vigor, but you don't need the Vigor. You have Damage Reduction, which is nice and all, but that is getting nerfed, man. Like, there's no way that's gonna stay. Look at this shit, 65%. I don't think so. So if you look at the effect, it does literally nothing for the build. Unless you drop this and put like Ravager or something. Or some other skill. These are outdated, right? Bastion? Is that still a thing? Apparently. Okay. Ah, wait, this is here, right? Thorns. Okay, yeah, this isn't Temper. Alright. I thought it was outdated, but it's not. Yeah, I don't really see how this would outperform something like, you know, the Quill Volley build or a Stinger build or something like that. If 100% uptime on incarnate skills. Yeah, okay, but then what? What's so good about it? Counter attack. I mean, you put this thing on the neck. Like, where's the damage? There's no, you know, Mystic Circles. No Bruiser's aspect. There's not even a reason to press Toxic Skin. Like, you just need to have the passive effect for the 100% extra Thorns. This is useless, and the active here is also useless. You don't need this. If you have this ring anyway, then you don't need it on a bar. I also think counter attack is pretty useless. And then this Thrash should be Rock Splitter, so that's what I would do, I think. And then I would drop this ring. And I'll probably go Mystic Circles. You can go Forest Power. Forest Power gives you tons of armor. Gives you the insane barrier. You can go... I don't think you even need Loyalty's Mantle here. You can probably go for Harmony even. Because this is a Thorns build, you can't really benefit from Loyalty's Mantle so much with like Jaguar, for example. So I'll probably go like Jaguar secondary even. And then primary. Okay. I think Jaguar might work with Thorns damage, by the way. Every 12th time you deal direct damage. I think this might include Thorns. So maybe you could do something like this here and go Loyalty anyway. Or you do something like this and then go Harmony Helm. One of the two. At least I'm away. I'm doing fine, just very busy. We had like long maximum meetings and stuff earlier. I'm starting a bit late. I don't know if Harmony is good for Pestilence aspect-based builds. But that's what I've been cooking actually for the Stinger guide. I actually did that just yesterday. You have Air of Perdition, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you have a setup like this, where you have a Centipede skill, and then you have Gorilla, Jaguar, you should absolutely go Harmony Helm. Harmony is just way better. And I mean, I do expect Harmony to get nerfed a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you have crit chance, that's pretty good. You have the core ranks, that's pretty good. But there's Harmony Helm. It also has a bit of crit. It has damage reduction. It has like a way bigger multiplier. I'm not sure if Air Petition can beat Harmony Helm. Plus all the extra passes you can pick up suddenly, because you have an extra tag. Like, you have spec into the Jaguar passes, but these are actually not active. You don't have any Jaguar without Harmony Helm. Like, these just don't work. And like 3 points in Potent alone, once it's stacked at least on a boss or something, is already a half of what Petition gives you. Without the stats. But yeah, otherwise this does not look too dissimilar, I guess, but I did remove starters, and I actually have 0 mythics in my Stinger build. And I don't have Devourer either. I think Devourer could be something for a different build, but not really for this. Like, the thing is, you actually have anti-synergy between Devourer and Noxious Resonance, I would say. Like here it says that enemies will die instantly when they are fully poisoned up, right? But you don't want to die instantly because you want to proc Noxious Resonance from them so that you can blow up the entire pack. Like if you poison them up and then they just die, then you can't do Noxious Resonance, they don't get the explosions. But Devourer does look cool. Pestilence Swarm damage, huh? How much more is this than Centipede? Almost double, okay. I mean, I like the idea of the Pestilence Swarms because it spawns more Pestilence Swarms. But realistically, it's anti-synergy, I think. More than helps you. What would be the most fun to play Spiritborn build? Well, the two I'm looking forward to the most are Quill Volley and Stinger. Stinger is basically a bit like Hammerden. And yeah, Quill Volley is a bit like Multi-Shot. So those are two pretty cool archetypes that I enjoy. Just hope Noxious Resonance doesn't get nerfed to expire the poison. I mean, realistically, this is what they need to do. Like, they can't leave this. If they leave it as it is, and it does not remove the poison, then there is nothing even in the same galaxy as Stinger, Spiritborn. You know, you're gonna just have like infinite damage basically. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna remove the poison. At least this is what I... Yeah, like old Blurred Beast, exactly. For some reason Blurred Beast had the same thing, right? Where it didn't delete it. But yeah, it has to do that. Realistically. Or they nerfed this number to like, I don't know, 5% instead of 100 or something like that. So one of the two probably makes some kind of sense. You love fast-played rogue playstyle. What do you recommend on Spiritborn? I recommend... Yeah, probably Quill Volley. It's probably like my starter leveling build that I want to use for the race. There has to be a reason to spend 40 bucks, infinite damage. Yeah, I mean, Spiritborn is gonna be OP enough, don't worry. I mean, if you look at these values that you have from the data mine, like, at this point you put almost every single Spiritborn built into S tier, and okay, that will be like, you know, the better S tier and the worse S tier, but, you know, everything seems kind of cracked. So... But yeah, Noxious Resonance is certainly the most cracked of everything by quite a margin, actually. Like, if you look at like how many hits you can produce, how many crits you can produce, like imagine this does not consume the poison. In fact, it did not. Last time I played Spiritborn, it did not consume the poison. And I was able to crit for almost 7 digits, basically, if I had tried a bit more at level 30. post stat squish. Yeah, and bosses at that level in a dungeon have like maybe 5,000 life, and I was able to crit for over hundreds of thousands. Yeah, because of Noxious Resonance. Now imagine this in the endgame, you know, you're literally gonna have trillions of hits or something. So it's gonna be ridiculous. So yeah, realistically, if this doesn't consume poison, nothing will get close to a poison stinger or poison Spiritborn of any kind, really. Because you just poison them up, and then you just keep critting them really fast with lots of attacks. And for example, Quill Volley can do this. You can stand at the boss and spam Quill Volleys into the boss, and you can get 16 crits per attack. Like per second, we're talking about like 50 crits or more. And if you have a chance to cast twice, we're talking about 100 times the like 100 explosions per second. Or something like that. Yeah, it's definitely achievable with Noxious Resonance. Of the total poison that the target has, you know. So you dot him up with a 10-second poison, and then you start spamming Quill Volley into the target, and then you just like multiply your poison DPS by like a times 100. Yeah. Times way more actually. In that case, like a times 1,000 or something like that. Yeah, Quill Volley Andes, yeah, imagine like that. Quill Volley also has like the best lucky hit on his class. At least that I can identify here. So maybe Thrash has a bit of potential for lucky hit builds. But Quill Volley also has a really good lucky hit. So I could do Andariel, Noxious Resonance, Quill Volley. That's actually something that I wanted to cook a bit. And that would be just completely busted. You would skip Spiritborn for Druids to return Blurred Beast for Season 6. I guess chill out a bit. Razor Wings might look like Hamilton as well. True, they have like the spiral thing. I guess technically this is more Hamilton than the Pestilence stuff with Stinger. But I mean, once you have the ring here, the Rhythmic Moon, it will kind of feel like a Hamilton, because every time you attack, it will spawn the Pestilence Swarms on you, and they will orbit with you, and then they spiral out. So it's basically like that as well. I don't really believe in Razor Wings that much as a build. I cooked one, but I'm not really sure if it's really gonna be a thing. But it could be kind of funny if you have like some kind of combo where you have extra Razor Wing chargers, and then you have like a lot of like alt users, and then you use Intricacy, and that gives you free casts of your potency skills. So then you can do a few free Razor Wings, you press an alt, you do Razor Wings, you press an alt, something like that. You can do this with Prodigy's Tempo, for example, where it gives you the cooldown reduction. I think this is kind of what I did there, if I remember correctly. No, it's actually adaptive stances, but you can just swap to Prodigy's Tempo if you have to. I think it's 15 charges with 6 Razor Wing charges here, 6 there. Yeah. I've been cooking Eagle and Jaguar builds, yeah. So this is a Razor Wing build that we're looking at right now, actually, which, I don't know, I think Razor Wings probably doesn't have enough support yet. So this may be something for a later patch, but we can try. But yeah, I've done a Rake build, a Quill Volley build. These are the 2 core skills here. Quill Volley I've actually written already for max roll. Rake guide will be done by Lucky Luciano. But I have my own planner as well that I cooked, which is very similar to the Quill Volley. Razor, Vital Strikes, and Fleet Wings. Which one is Fleet Wings again? It's a speed, right? Yeah, it's kind of nice. But it's mostly an early game thing, I believe. You can achieve like either unhindered or unstoppable in various ways. You also don't really need to move speed in late game. But yeah, early game is kind of cool if you play something with Razor Wings. Think they're gonna adjust Spiritborn builds mid-season? I mean, mid-season patch is definitely happening, and yeah, they said that generally they don't really want to nerf stuff mid-season. It's more like for the season launches. So unless something is like broken to the point where it's like, you know, it's just one-shots everything in pit 100 or something like that, I don't think they'll really step in. Or if it's like, you know, performance issues. Like, I can definitely see stuff like Devourer causing problems. Like if you play like the Stinger stuff that we just saw, you know, you play Devourer, every enemy you kill spawns Pestilent Swarms. And they can last, I don't know what, like 10 seconds plus or so. And then they all circle around you. You can literally have like, you know, 100 swarms around you or some shit. Like, that's not very friendly for the servers, I think. Need Fell Soothsayer aspect of Razor Wings. Fell Soothsayer is the one where they explode when they are vulnerable and die, right? Ah, okay, so that's what you're trying to do. So every time you cast Razor Wings is an incarnate skill. Okay, I see that. That's actually an interesting combo. I didn't think about this before. Okay, so you make your Razor Wings into an incarnate skill, and then you spam it, and then they explode. Okay. Not terrible. What's the base damage on Razor Wings? This could be like an interesting early game strat, actually. But when I tried Razor Wings, I was not really impressed by its damage. It's 50%. And this is... Oof, it's so weak, man, fucking Razor Wings. It's so weak. 50% base damage. Like, even a Quill Volley has like 2.5 times that amount. Look, when you use a shotgun. And then it becomes even more of that. It's like over triple, or quadruple. This is 30, 75, that's like 1.5 times. This is 70, and then you have the poison as well. This is also roughly triple of a Razor Wing. Like, Razor Wing is just so weak, man. Crushing Hands is probably the closest here, and it has 80%. But yeah, it could be good enough for like early game. Just throw like Razor Wings into the packs. So it's like a good way to like, regain some resources, because you make them vulnerable and then you get Vital Strikes procs. Oh, you want one of the Pulsar Dronics? Nice. Yeah, this one here you see at the top. This is the Gauntlet prize for getting rank 1 in the Gauntlet. Congrats, dude. Can't wait for the patch notes to say everything is nerfed to the ground. I mean, they're certainly gonna nerf a lot of stuff in general, and also for Spiritborn, I mean, a lot of the stuff here is definitely kind of insane. Especially the aspects, there's like some aspects. Like, it's actually crazy, like on this class, like I'm starting to just kind of like make builds that don't have mythics at all. And you know how crazy mythics are. You know, most builds these days run like, you know, 2, 3, 4 mythics or something. And on Spiritborn it's just like, yeah, man, I can't use these mythics. Like, they're not good enough. So, kind of weird situation, I gotta say. Thanks, Unit 52, by the way. Druid Landstar runs almost fully mythic and uniques. Yes, I mean, many builds do that in Season 5. And will continue in Season 6 as well. But on this class, so many aspects are pretty strong. You get a Rogue, Victimize, or Momentum. Being in the expansion. Victimize actually started popping off from pretty early. I played I played Barrage, Victimize, and then later Dance, Victimize. And I did that almost exactly from the start. I think I wanted to play Aerostorms to level. I got the 2 aspects, and I started playing Aerostorms. And then at some point I arrived at the key passives, and I was like, yeah, let's just put Victimize and see what happens. And it actually worked. So... yeah, the Aerostorms plus the Victimize, it you know, started working pretty soon, actually. Okay, I think there's like some other stuff I wanted to... Did I ever make a Crushing Hands build? I got the Rake, here's a Crushing Hands. But I think it's not fully done yet, right? Let me check this. So this has a Starless Skies, okay. Redirected Force, Unyielding Hits, Plains Power, Forest Power, Interdiction, Loyalty, Jaguar. Okay, unfortunately I have Loyalty. And then we get a shorter cooldown for Hunter, Rushing, Claw, and Ravager. But not for Armored Hide. We have a very high cost there. Okay, got Resolve Stacks. Is there any other like good power that we want? Dude, this Crushing Hand is gonna hit like the entire fucking screen. Look at this shit. Value is increased by 5% for every stack of Resolve you have, up to 205%. Like, what the fuck? And there is Crushing Hand size temper. And this is not the same. So this should actually be separate. This thing is gonna hit the entire fucking screen now. Yeah, Crushing Hand size. That's gonna be funny, man. Okay, this seems actually relatively cooked. This is a Shroud. I'm not sure if we're gonna go for Shroud of False Death. I think the extra resolve stacks are really important here because there's also a way smaller radius. Kind of like the big radius that we got there. I'd like to even get the velocity in there if you can. When you're fueled, you can do this. Spiritborn build rides will be busy. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm already working on the guides. I'll have 3 leveling guides and 4 endgame guides on max roll myself. I mean, not everything that we have here is going to become a max roll guide at the start. So, for example, Razor Wings currently is not planned. But we also have some guides that I actually didn't cook yet as well. So there's going to be like a Payback build, for example. I didn't make a Payback build yet, but it's not done by me. And then I need to try some basic attack stuff. We're going to have some kind of basic attack build, maybe multiple actually. Hidden tooltip up to 100% size. Well, if you look closely, this doesn't say size, it says a radius, which is different from the tempers, for example. And I would be kind of surprised to see this not go infinite. Because, I mean, resolve stacks are capped somewhere. And there needs to be some perk to playing this over some other skills. And honestly, there are not that many perks of playing Crushing Hands. And this is certainly a good one. You also actually have a relatively good defense. Every time you attack, you get 30% of your life as barrier. That's actually insane when you think about it. I think for speed farm, you should be nutty. If that actually works with this extra size, that's kind of crazy. And then with all the damage I put in there, with like the Mystic Circles, I think it's gonna work out just fine, actually. I'm gonna try to make like progression of this now. Actually take this out and put a CM. Get 4 vigor per second, which is more like 5, 6. You could also do vigor per second here on the boots or something, I just realized. This might actually be not bad. So with the armor, I mean, you do lose a bit there. That's 7 vigor per second, could be kind of nice. With Starless Sky stacked, that's gonna cost 15, so every 2 seconds we get 1 free Crushing Hands just on this one roll. That's pretty good. Also, we have Unrestrained, and I don't think I will need it. We don't really have all that much uptime on Unstoppable, do we? I mean, yeah, when we cast Armored Hide, we have Unstoppable for 5.7 seconds. And that's it. Can free resolve every 5 seconds. I think we could go for this actually. We can walk into a pack and then left click 3 times to get this. Get like a bunch of resolve. Is there any other stuff you want to put here? Swift. There's Unstoppable. Could do something for initiative. Could also do something with intricacy. I think I might actually be better off doing some stuff there. We can do 1 there. And this. And this. This. Say 1 and 1 in the Rock Splitter there. Yeah, telling me we don't need the res here. Actually quite overcapped there on the res. On poison. So it's kind of cool. How much DR is this though? We're only going for all res anyway. Let me just take all of this out. We go from 30% damage taken to 21, right? So 42% increase in EHP. I'll take 30% less damage. Which is kind of cool. Stuff like this is also kind of cool. So I press Armored Hide, press Hunter, start blasting. Let's get a lot of unstoppable there. There's healing, which I don't think we really care about. But it feels good. In case you ever take damage through our barriers, we get healing back from fueled. I still don't have this though. So maybe do this. Now I can put 1 point somewhere. Do we care about the blocking actually? We have redirected force. And here we don't have patient guard, I just realized. Okay, it's actually kind of nice stuff you can get there. For example, the anti-venom. So that's really good. The shroud. I wonder if it's gonna nerf the resolve stack stuff. Okay, I need 1 point for a patient guard here somehow. Unless they say we don't care. Maybe we don't. Interdiction. Okay. Let's do this. I think Sky Power is worth. I have not tried Sky Power, so I'm not sure what it looks like exactly here. Because when I played it, I mean, I did have... I'm not sure if Sky Power existed. But like the Mystic Circles existed, some of these powers existed, but they felt all really terrible, and I did not really foresee that they would, you know, allow us to like temper a Mystic Circle potency and get the glyph for it and stuff like that. So I was not actually really experimenting much with the Mystic Circles when I played. They seem kind of crappy. But yeah, for like the endgame stuff, especially when it comes to like boss killing and so on, yeah, they're gonna be pretty strong. They have like very strong synergies. You get like all this armor, the barriers, you get the extra damage with the ferocity stacks and so on. Like it's kind of crazy how good they are. So yeah, can take out some from velocity. I mean, you can take out one from velocity. I can do this instead. Doesn't really matter too much, I guess, at this point. I'd like to keep this as free, because it's like a pretty good source of unsolvable, especially with like a really short cooldown on the Hunter. This is 36.9 seconds base cooldown. And then we have 60% from the Helm. And then we have 34%. So we have like 9.7 seconds cooldown on the Hunter. Which is almost cooldown cap. It's pretty good. Can do this even. Just have it more smoothed out. And like this, you can actually very often cast out Armored Hide. You can like Armored Hide, Hunter, Armored Hide, Hunter, Armored Hide, Hunter. So like this, you could actually quite easily achieve the perma unsolvable. Or nearly. And I think Armored Hide doesn't even have like an animation, and it resets our stacks all the time. So we should be fine actually with a combo like this, I think. Because there's such a short cooldown on the Hunter. As long as you make sure we cast Armored Hide together with Hunter every time, and if there's no animation, you can always cast it together. You always get a resolve refresh. So in that case, you might not actually need this Armored Hide ranks, yeah. Might be kind of useless. Leave armor, res, alive. This is res. So this could be armor and this could be res. I don't think we need the Armored Hide ranks at all there. And it's a bit short unsolvable now, but okay. So like this. I'm really excited to see how this will go. How big is Companion Druid going to be? Companion Druid has become a lot more powerful. I think they're gonna be fine. Not like a crazy build, but it's gonna be a good build, I think. Let's set a Payback build. Okay, what is that? From Kraus. Okay, take a look. Before I start making the next variant here. Okay, Baleki, Midday, Lokran. Now it's getting interesting. Wait, what are we doing with all this resource? I guess just like stacking up the payback damage, huh? Lokran. Not what I expected to see. Okay, increases damage by 0.5% for each point spent. It's 43 maximum. I don't think this is worth it, actually. I mean, the stats... Yeah, I mean, res is nice and all, but you definitely don't want it on a neck. And then you have percent stats, that's relatively shit. The crit damage also pretty shit. And then you have, okay... It's 40% crit. And then... 65, so I have like 200... 300, actually more, 230, so like let's say 350 or so vigor maybe. So that gives you 175% damage bonus. And then this gives you a 0.2. So you have 275, right? 250 over 100, right? Let's say we said 350 or so, over 400. Where's the rest coming from? Okay, let's say 400 vigor, right? Okay, if we say 400, let's say 400. It's a kind of interesting idea. So this will give us 60% damage and 40% crit. And no aspect. And also no furnace ranks. Okay. Protector and Centipede. You really don't like dying, don't you? Holy. Protector and Centipede primary. Let's go. And a concussive stomp. Okay. And that hits well. Yeah, even with this amount of resources, does it make sense to do Locran? Like 6 furnace ranks alone are almost the same as the Locran damage scaling over 100 resources. And then, okay, you have to make up for the crit chance somehow. But you can have, like, you know, a percent dex, like 30% dex or something. It's basically 30% damage, or nearly. And then you have another stat, and then I don't think Locran is gonna be worth it, man. Even on a build like this. Even with the extra damage scaling you get here. I mean, okay, how do you actually get to a maximum resources? You have midday hunt, but you also need the other ring. So this would be, you have to do this one here. This is your key to infinite resources. That's okay, by the way. Early cozy planners. Yeah, not very early, I guess. Unless you're in a different part of the world. It would be fun if I tried to 100% all-in build. Double Spirit, Jaguar, Eagle, Gorilla, Centipede. I could try some stuff like that. I don't think it's gonna be that effective though. Like, I'm just not really that impressed by some stuff like Primary Centipede, for example. But yeah, maybe if I try it, I will learn some synergies. I definitely want to try to make something around the Eagle primary thing. The Storm Feathers, but I don't know, they don't really seem that powerful. Casting Eagle's skill grants 2 Storm Feathers up to max of 24. When you wait, up to 8 Storm Feathers are fired. I don't know, man. I mean, you could do some shenanigans like play Thunder Spike. Just like, you know, 1, 2, 3. They pull stuff in. You get lots of vigor. You could like 1, 2, 3 Thunder Spike and then do like a follow-up Quill Volley or something. Then you have 8 Storm Feathers. Then you evade. And every time you do this 1, 2, 3 combo, you get to evade back. But I mean, I have no idea. They don't really seem that strong. These Storm Feathers. I'd have to try them. Yeah, I understand, Kraus. But what you want to do is you want to have your full resources and every attack. Right? Yeah, like, imagine how long this will stay. How long this will take until you get to full resource. It's gonna take forever. How do you even get resource? Do you even have any region? There's no region. You have 0 base region. So the only source of vigor here is actually passively grants you vigor when you take damage. Which may or may not work when you have barriers. So realistically, you will never proc Rod of Kepaleke. The only thing it does is that it allows you to spam. And then what? True, that's 12 vigor per second. So once every 20 seconds, you get 1 payback that's buffed. So you want to go Midnight Sun. I haven't tried it, of course, but I expect that Midnight Sun works together with Kepaleke consumption or with the payback consumption. And I guess you have infinite resources, so this is how to play a payback build. Yo, no, thanks for the time. Depends what the game will count as casting. Can you have the boots and aspect that make a Rake count as funnel spikes, so and vortex? Yeah, with the boots, usually cast means, you know, direct cast, not like a proc or something like that. So here it says casting and eagle skill, so I would expect this only works, you know, once on a skill use. And if you proc like, you know, vortex from Sora, this won't work. But who knows? The thing is that even if it did work, is that gonna be good enough? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, there's like a spirit feather stuff that I did with the Sora. That might have a bit of like a... Here, it's actually one of the first things I made. With the boots. And then you have... Dude, what the hell is this? Injected force, unyielding hits. Air of perdition. Yeah, this needs to be cooked again a little bit here. Turbulence. Recalling feathers. Not so sure about this. I doubt them. Yo, can you tell me in the Payback Thorns aspect adds Thorns to the base damage of the skill? It's like an extra hit, basically. So you do the hit off the skill, and then you do the Thorns. Now, what I do know is that Rock Splitter, this effect here, this can be buffed by things that buff the basic skill, like Moonrise and adaptability aspects, and I think even stuff like Follow Through. So even though this is Thorns, it can be amplified by skill-related benefits. I'm not sure if the same applies to the Payback though, I have not tried that, but I would assume it does. So you could probably also get stuff like, you know, like some aspects or something that buff the Thorns from this. Okay, anyway, I wanted to finish this crossing hand stuff here, so let's go. So let's do this. Also, I should probably do the variants. What do you have here? Colossal. Skills, security, strike, generate 3 bigger. Okay. Spirit. And ritual. Okay. Does Outmatch also do 15% on the Druid? What's that Spiritborn thing? Okay, I thought it was less in the past. Okay, what about the conversions? Sapping. It says knockdown. Increase damage to to crowd controlled enemies. Okay. And drive. And we have the speed there, okay. No infighter. That's big dodge. Big block. Life. His barrier. Some dodge. Vuln, barrier. Okay. That's fine. Let's go with this. We have freeze, stun. Okay. Hey, Zettabyte, by the way. How's it going? You get to see how the armor to damage aspect works? Yeah, it actually adds base weapon damage. So it's the same as damage on the weapon. So when you have like, 5,000 armor and you get 80% of that as extra damage, it's like you have a weapon that has 4,000 damage. This unyielding hits is kinda cracked. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna nerf that, but I can still easily nerf it by like 50% or more and we'll be fine, so we'll see. Okay, let's remove some optional stuff, I think. We need to get points here. What the fuck is this here? I guess it doesn't matter. Looks so weird though. Hmm. There's also a random dex note here. I need to block giant stuff badly, I think. We have 61 points left. We want roughly 100 left. Can't really change anything here, besides maybe take something out from their own. Take those. Can take those. No, Karaza, they do. I'm not sure how it's going to be in an expansion or if it's even changing. I would expect at least on Torment 4 you have the same chance as now, which is 5 times 1.5%. Torment 4 bosses also drop 5 unique items, so they might have the same chances in the expansion. But we don't really know for sure. Okay, I think this is okay. Thank you, man. Jesus. We had 2 months, man. I mean, having a really good time actually trying to explore the class and coming up with builds and stuff. It's very fun actually. I have to do a glyph swap here, I think. Because they have virtual way to light. So put that here. And here we select this. It's only one idle change here actually. And let's see the res. Problem. Okay. So what do you put? You have unrelenting. It's pretty important. Then you have planes power, two-handed, unyielding hits here, redirected here. So you have like all of the crazy powers. I'm kind of inclined to use a resource power here. Another thing we could do actually is we just use a cursed touch. And then we go vital strikes. We do lose a lot of damage though. This is 50% core stats, 30% damage reduction. It's kind of nutty. We don't need the healing, but we do get 45% damage. So this is kind of similar actually. Then we get infinite resources. So that is kind of nice. And I think that's what I'll do. Just like instantly solves all the resources. And then you go adaptive stances in a late game. They just don't need stuff like bigger per second or something, I think. It's probably fine. Because you always get at least 2 hits. So you gain 10 vigor just from that. You can probably even take out points there. Yeah, Midas Strike and a Curse Touch works, yes. Unless they nerfed it. But when I played it, it worked. So you have like permanent vulnerable, you always get healing, you always get vigor. It was pretty nuts. So I think this is what I'll do here. And then we also have like reliable vulnerable application. And let's see what else you can do. I mean, you could get stuff like combined strikes and, okay, like every time we cast a rock splitter, here we can also do stuff, but I don't know. There's Fell Soothsayers. We do have relatively high damage per hit, yeah. But it's actually something I should probably consider more for like a Rake build, actually. At least for like speed farming Rake build. But they always like pop, 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 pop. Could be kind of nuts. I mean, there's stuff like Dark Dance, but I think it's still buggy and doesn't give you like the full damage benefit that it should. Acceleration, aspect of the Umbral. And the things like Crushing Hands cost a lot, it costs 30. I think we're actually the best off just going a Curse Touch, yeah. Boom. Boom. Don't even need this here. Can put like res. More res, let's go. And then could be a Hunter cooldown. Defensive cooldown, Protector cooldown. Can actually temper vigorous and velocity. 3 ranks, but it's not that good anyway. So Mystic, Hunter. Take this out. Okay. Thanks, fuck them. Appreciate the prime. I should have been at TwitchCon right now instead. I heard there's TwitchCon going on and stuff, but what am I gonna do? All this pre-cooking for an interaction that we found on launch with some random aspect changing the way we look at Spiritborn and it becomes absolute meta. Yeah, I mean, you never know, right? But at least I'm gonna be prepared, you know? You know, we tweak this a little bit, like if we find some stuff like that that's like completely crazy or so, then, you know, we have the setups ready and I can tweak them from there. But at least I have like, you know, worked a lot on like the other interactions that already make the build, right? Will they rework the Eagle Spirit Hall? Yeah, I'm not sure what they were thinking about the Eagle Spirit Hall. Like the secondary one is like literally pointless, I think. Like there's no early or like late game build that would ever want this, I feel. And then in primary, yeah, maybe, but that's specifically gonna be like one build, right? That's gonna be like the Eagle Spirit Hall build. And that's it. I mean, okay, that's something. But yeah, I feel like compared to like the general usefulness of the other three, Eagle is definitely lacking in both. Like the other three, you know, they always have a reason to be used. But Eagle never has a reason to be used, I feel. It might also just be that some stuff like Jaguar primary is too strong. And so on. Curveball has the potential to be no new Bone Spear. Kind of. Okay. So let's finish this here. Anything else you want to change on this? They curse touch, vital strikes. So yeah, that's probably how we're gonna do this for the early game. Just go vital strikes so we have the resources. Because 30 vigor, if you want to spend this, you also have to like spend this 3 times in a row in order to get the unrelenting proc, right? Every third consecutive crushing hands. You have to actually cast it 3 times in a row to get those 10 hits. How much damage is this actually? So if you cast 3 times, you get 1 + 1 + 1, right? You get 3 damage basically in 3 hits. And now we get 10 times 0.35 plus 3. That's actually a pretty massive aspect. It's times 2.5 our damage. That's a lot. But you have to cast 3 times in a row without anything in between. Wait. This is not correct. Okay. Yeah, that's not correct. So we have 2 smashes that constitute the entire hit. So our damage is actually 6 and not 3 after 3 attacks. And then we get 10 times 5, 4.5 plus 6. So you get 10.5 instead of 6. It's a 75% increase though, it's still not bad. But again, only if you actually do a triple in a row. You have to do it in a row, which is kind of a problem. I just need to change the word from Stormfeather to Spiritfeather, all fixed. Yeah, honestly, like, I don't know, I tried it briefly. I don't even know what it looks like, actually. I have no idea about Eagle. I guess I can try to cook like a Stormfeather's build and see what it can do. And just see if like this has any merit. But yeah, right now I don't really expect much there. What do you think the best Spiritborn build is going to be? Yeah, it's hard to predict right now. Everything seems kind of crazy. I guess Stinger looks like the craziest. Okay, any other adjustments you want to make here? We have 5 in Ravager. I'm not so sure about that, actually. But maybe it's fine, since we don't really have much else. Don't need Swift very much. This is okay here. I'd like to get one more point in Trigger Data. Can we do that? Maybe we do take one out, but then we have... We don't care about minimum ferocity. We can do this. Yo, Wen. Thank you, Wen. I'm just taking points out from Ravager. I mean, why not? Could also go for anti-venom. If we really want. Which we do have here. Okay, any other changes you want to make here, besides the Vital Strikes? It might be nice to still have this stuff here. That's not like a hit here. 40% chance. So it gives us 10%, 20% per hit. And then in 3 attacks, we produce 16 hits. Okay. So after like a combo of 3 crushing hands, we almost guaranteed have a cursed touch on the target. And then kapow. So that's okay. And at that point, we basically have infinite vigor, right? Because every time we attack, we get 10 back. Let's just multiply it. It's more like 13 back or so. If this more like 20 back. And it costs 30. And then on every 3rd hit, it's gonna get infinite resource. Okay. Should be fine. I think this a cursed touch combo is actually the way here. We do lose the damage reduction, which is nice. But we don't need it for like the progression that early anyway. Yeah, we just have like one small problem here. Which is that when we cast Crushing Hands 3 times in a row, we have to cast something else in between sometimes. So it needs to be a Hunter, and then 3 times Crushing Hands, and then a Ravager, 3 times Crushing Hands, a Hunter again, 3 times Crushing Hands, or something like that. I mean, okay, we don't have to do like every 3. We can do like even 2, maybe even 3 combos if you have really high attack speed. Can you do 3 times 3? That's 9 casts in 5 seconds. Yeah, that should be doable. Okay, so you can do 9 Crushing Hands, Hunter, and then 9 Crushing Hands, Ravager. Okay, that should be fine actually. And before that, we don't really care about it anyway, since we go Vital Strikes, so that's only really gonna be like the late game. Okay, that's fine. The Master Gnezicam Ravager is +7 minimum ferocity as a passive. Yeah, I mean, minimum ferocity is kind of cool from Ravager, but you can't have more minimum ferocity than maximum ferocity, right? So even if it says +7 minimum ferocity, if your maximum is only 4, then that's it. So you can't have more than 4. Unless you go with Jaguar and you go like dualist aspect and stuff like that. But yeah, the minimum ferocity just means that, you know, you just run around, you have 2 ferocity, and if you don't generate any, you will have 2 ferocity. And even when like Rushing Claw consumes 4, you will still have 2. So go from, for example, when you have 4, and then Rushing Claw procs and consumes 4, you go from 4 to 2. But yeah, so far I've not really used many unique weapons in these setups here. Counter-attack passive gets 40% dodge. Yeah, kinda nice. 40% dodge is pretty good. Some of this. All DGAs. Let's pull these gems down to flawless. Okay, what is that? Cooldown, Warcry. Hey, Kirin. Why are people leaving? Who made that exclamation command actually? What the hell? Oh, guess. Okay. Is vigor per second, but I don't think we care that much about it. So I think this is a life angle. I wonder if you care about the vigor per second here. The answer to that is probably not. But it will probably make it feel a lot smoother. I also have vigor per second here, and I kind of like the idea. I kind of want to get attack speed here, to be honest. What the rest here? How much life is this? 5.8k. I mean, do get barriers all the time from crushing hands, it might be okay. Yeah, what do we put here? Prediction, which has block chance. Forest power. Then as a resolve stack, we gain what is like the damage reduction we have when you have barrier. Resolve has a chance to not get lost when you hit for each stack of ferocity. Also kind of nice. Also non-basic mobility skill grants resolve. Let's vary with some block reduction while you have a barrier. This barrier only lasts 2 seconds though. But you will have 100% block reduction. Gain resolve for each 10 vigor above 100. It's actually kind of wild. Blocking an attack from a close enemy has a 70% chance to cast a free concussive stun, but I definitely need to try this. I think this could be very nice. Maybe instead of interdiction even. If block chance is actually kept at 100%, then I think I would probably remove interdiction and take this one, because it just like constantly stuns or knocks down everything, gives you constant barriers all the time whenever they attack you, so it's just kind of chilling. Since we're hitting the entire screen anyway, I think this might just be the best option here actually. So you don't lose resolve stacks that fast. Crushing hand size, resolve, mystic. Resolve, crushing hand size. I want to do rushing claw charges. Then we want to do crushing hand size like this. Since we go for a curse touch anyway, we don't really need this. So put res. This is like almost ready for tournament 3, but I guess we put res again. 3000 life by the way. Oof. So you have 40, 55, 65, you have 75% block chance. So maybe I'm gonna go for the DR. Block reduction is increased by 30 while you have a barrier. But yeah, if we don't have 100% block chance, then this is also not that great, I think. Resolve has a 6% chance to not be lost when I hit for each stack of ferocity. We can have 6, 10, 15. We can have 90% chance to not lose resolve with endurance. Also kind of good. I think let's go for like all the barrier gen. It's fine. We have to get those 3 points here. 1, 2, 3. We have like insane dodge and block and stuff. I think it's gonna be okay. So what do we do? I swear I did change a few things here. So we had this, this, this. And then we need 1, 2. Something like that, maybe. Just put concussive stomp here. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Hey, Boiler. Hey, Dexter's. Shit, I missed Boiler joining us. How did I join? How did I miss that? Potent? It should be permanent, yeah. I haven't really tried if it drops off at some point. But I'm pretty sure it just like remembers. Maybe if they disengage or reset or something, it's probably gone or so, but yeah. You haven't played in a whole season. What are the 5 or 10 biggest things you've missed? I mean, they massively buffed all the uniques in Season 5. Plus a bunch of new cool builds. Lightning Spear Sork is like a really big one, for example, right now, that has been introduced. Infernal Hordes is like a new mode. It's a bit like the Echoing Nightmares on the other 3. Okay, let's make a leveling. I don't have a Curse Touch. I don't have Redirected Force. I don't have Unyielding Hits. I don't have Plains Power. Don't have Duelist. Don't have Forest Power. I do have Unrelenting. I don't have Interdiction. Okay, so I have a whole 1 aspect. And we want to put that on our neck, I suppose. Also, I think I forgot to change our gems here. Sork is very strong now in Season 5, yes. They massively buffed Sork and then, yeah, added a lot of crazy stuff there. Okay, let's see what I can do here. enough Plains power and stuff, we don't really need the Hunter that badly. It would be kind of nice to have the cooldown for the Hunter. Or just sometimes use it at least. We have Crushing Hand size. Do we go for Resolve stuff? Radius increased by 5% for every stack of Resolve you have. What if we don't have any Tempers? We're gonna have 8 Resolve. Those disappear very fast. So I don't think we go for this actually. I think we actually go to this, yeah. So it's getting knocked down all the time. It's gonna make it very safe. You just walk in, knock everything down. When you don't have much healing at the start, I think that's actually kind of fine. So something like that. There's also this here with the resolve regenerated. Plus 3 resolve generated. This could be an option as well. $30,000 chance for Crushing Hand to extra hit. Gives 80% primary Jaguar Spirit Hull potency. Which does put our damage to 280 instead of 200, which is like a 40% increase instead of a 35. I wanna go for this, I think. Can we search our codex? No. I think we can do haste. Kind of just like putting haste. Some speed. Hey, so let's go share. Jar bear. What? I have a video recorded actually for runes and rune words, explaining them and talking about the strongest ones and so on. It's gonna be for tomorrow. I'll post the planners soon. I can probably start putting some of them because some of them have kind of like fully cooked, but not all of them. So I don't want to like post all of them yet. So like a lighting rest here. cold, cold. I guess we still like a poisonous here. So that's kinda okay. Fire is actually super high, shadow, okay. That's what it is. So get crushing hand size, crushing claw charges, crushing hand size. I'd like to get a reset here with 2 points. Don't really need to block very much. Or this. Why does this icon on resolution change? You see this when I click? It looks different. What the fuck? Why? Okay, can I get like an extra point in the intricacy somehow? Where's that going? I think we do this. I think here kind of similar. We don't actually have really any source of vulnerable in this setup, I just realized, right? Not a good one at least. Kind of vulnerable for 2 seconds here, but that's not really impressive. I wonder if I should change this Jaguar combo for something. And what would it be? Kinda inclined to go for Ravager, all in. There's vulnerable and here's vulnerable. How about this? I think Soar in early game is kinda nice. Plus the vulnerable for 4 seconds afterwards. Kinda cool, and get some speed there as well. I'm not planning to show PoE2 today. But I want to make a video about like my footage, or maybe just upload the entire thing or something like that. We'll see. Yeah, I'll have something in the next days. I didn't really like work on this yet, but I guess now is a good time to actually release some stuff like that. Oh, I get 1 point in intricacy here. Guess I can do this. Is there like any reason to use something else besides Vital Strikes early on? I don't have like any vulnerable. Noxious don't help us. Adaptive Stances. Kinda works. The resource is gonna be awful. And then Policy's Temper. Heavy third consecutive cast of the same core ability skill. Reduces all skills active cooldowns by 10%. I don't think I care about Protector very much. But it does smack pretty hard actually, 80% damage. And then 300% increased damage to non-elites. So it's basically just kind of killing everything on the screen that's not elites. But on the other hand, Hunter also does the same damage to all that, right? It's just like smaller AoE. It's 270 and then 280. It's 350. And this is 320 to non-elites. This is more to elites. Maybe I'm gonna do Seeker and Vital Strikes, similar to how I did on a Quill Volley build. So I did on a Quill Volley build. We had Soar for vulnerable. Then we had Seeker for vulnerable. So he casts into a pack and then you just get like full resources basically. The other build also had a Quill Volley here. But at least Crushing Hands cost a bit less than Quill Volley. And we still have this and this. Oh, it's hard to really decide. I think we'll do it though. I think we just do this. Vital Strikes. Ding ding. And I mean, there is a way to do this actually with the Fell Soothsayer. This is a dungeon power. When you cast an encounter skill, enemies around become vulnerable for 5 seconds. So I guess we get like really good vulnerable spread basically. So I think I would recommend to go for this. But they don't have many encounter skills here. They only have Ravager. And then there is Armored Hide, no. Counterattack, no. Like you can't really benefit from this very much. Toxic Skin, no. Now there is Razor Wings. I could do the Razor Wings tech. And I could even do it instead of Ravager. Or instead of Seeker, but I kind of want the alt cluster. Do you give up Seeker? Okay, wait a minute. So we can do... Alright. Shit. Razor Wings. Ah, shit. This is not a dungeon power. I thought it's a dungeon power. Okay, then we can't do this. Because this would be very nice to just spread the... like, vulnerable all the time. You cast like a Razor Wing into a pack. Everything's vulnerable. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. Kinda long cooldown, man. 25 seconds. That's another activator, I guess. I have Seeker, you have Soar, and you have this, and I can kind of just cycle them. I guess that's okay. Okay, is there anything else you would like here? Guess I can throw in like a Bruiser. Just to be a bit more tanky. Can you gamble it? Yeah, of course I can gamble it. I'm just trying to make like a leveling setup right now with only dungeon powers. Yeah, the Thunder Spike evade. When you evade, you attack a Thunder Spike along the way and make enemies vulnerable. I guess it's an option. Like if you evade into a pack and then start spamming, you basically get like one crushing hand for free, eh? For doing this, right? You evade into a pack and that's like, I don't know, let's say 3-4 guys vulnerable. Then you attack, boom. You basically get like all that vigor back. Every third attack pierces further. But here we also have the vigor from the block. I kind of like keeping Rock Splitter. It just feels more consistent, especially if you level a lot in Helltide and stuff. I think it's gonna be okay. If you like Rock Splitter a little bit here and there, and then you get some blocks. I want to get the Patient Guard there. I need 1 point. Can do this. What's it differ now? This is 2, this is 1, this is 1. I think it's okay. How many seconds will Prodigy's tempo remove for a 20-point ultimate cooldown? Well, that's 10% and 2 per rank. So that's 50%. And I think this goes off the original cooldown. This does not work like it reduces 10% of the remaining. I think it reduces 10% of the total. So if the skill is already halfway back, and then you proc Prodigy's tempo on a rank 20 skill, then it's just gonna be ready. So it's kind of strong for something like that. The problem is, like, there's not really that many reasons to do this, I feel. I guess Touch of Death or something maybe, or so. But, Touch of Death will probably go with something with Noxious Resonance. Yeah, maybe you can do some funny stuff where I go for this here, right? 30% of its base poison damage over 6 seconds to surrounding enemies. I wonder if I could make a Touch of Death build around Prodigy's tempo. Get a lot of ranks. But yeah, they can't really get many ranks to this, right? You can have 5, you can have 13, 16. Okay, it's not terrible. Payback of intricacy. Ah, true, actually. You can do some funny stuff with Payback and intricacy and Prodigy's tempo. I didn't actually consider that. So it's like another way to kind of like cast Payback permanently. Instead of going for the Rod of Capeleka route. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, I think. You can cast it 3 times for free. 4 times, actually. It's reset. And then you can cast it 3 times for free. So I do Alt, bam, bam, bam. Alt, bam, bam, bam. Alt, bam, bam, bam. That could be interesting. The thing is that I think you have to play Seeker for this to get the charges, or else it's gonna be kind of bad. Unless you have like some plan B and you can play Hunter and then do something else if Hunter is not ready. Or you weave in some core skill anyway to get it back. You do like, you know, lots of Hunter ranks. Prodigy's tempo. How many ranks can we get to Hunter though? Yeah, we need like all skill ranks, so we need like the weapon voice, for example. But yeah, it's definitely a good idea with the Payback and the intricacy. I was considering this for like Razor Wing builds and stuff. And also with Touch of Death you can do some funny stuff. But yeah, Payback can do the same thing actually. And then reset. The stuff that makes core skills, basic skills. Yeah, it's kind of funny. But I think that part of it is not really going to be very strong. The strong part about it is that you get this extra resource consumption effect of the crit damage. And it makes like something like Payback no cooldown. So it could be something for Payback. Okay, anyway. Am I done with this level 60 setup here? Save Soar, Seeker. Later, Hunter. It is 2 points in Ravager, which seems kind of weird. But I like having the 3 points in Swift early on. That should help quite a lot with resetting Rushing Claw faster. Any other cool powers we can put here? Dungeons we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 dungeon powers. I don't think I really wanted to add more. I think you're fine. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized you can actually go for Dominant. Also increase damage to knock down enemies. We should probably do that. Over potent even. Anything else? I can do this. I think that's fine as well. Casting Goreska grants life. There's just a lot of passives here that we pick up. Oh shit, wait a minute. We also have the resolve stuff here that we don't need at all. And I wonder if we should actually go for fueled. And we do have the ferocity stacks, so we get the healing all the time. It's kind of cool. It's a good recovery early on. So maybe I'll like that enough. But we have 3 points now. We can put it in Ramager maybe. So let's go for it. Ramager rank 5 actually does quite some damage, I think. Making castle for free, yeah, to some degree. But I think this is probably the point where we actually remove ranks from there. It's level 40 right now. And I want to keep this though. Do 9% increase vulnerable damage. That's also... I think I just start removing some stuff here. So 31. It's level 23, I think. Cannot remove anything now, right? This is the ultimate passive, okay. Yeah, there's not really much left now. So there's this, 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 this. And that's basically it. This is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Using the Revolutionary Park, Life, and Integrity simply allow you to spam any of the ultimate skills indefinitely. I don't think so. I mean, I have not tried that, but I would be surprised if it just allows you to spam anything. The thing is, there's not really any ultimate here that I really want to or can spam, because they all have kind of like long animations and block you from using them again. Or it would really make sense to cast very fast. Like Hunter, for example, I would be very surprised if there's not at least like a 3 or 4 seconds delay before I can cast again. Seeker definitely has that. Protector, maybe you can cast it again, but it won't do anything, it'll just come back. And Devourer, also, like, you get the beam at the start, and then it despawns every time you cast a new one. So, spamming ultimates is not even that useful. I mean, it's useful for like some stuff like Resolution, and Integrity procs, and the Unstoppable. But I don't really expect to see like a full, just like ultimate spam build, at least not without Prodigy's Tempo. I think that's what you're gonna need at least. Okay. Would a basic attack belt of Rock Spinner blocking Payback spend all vigor kind of work? I think the Payback only spends it when you cast it. I don't know, but I would assume this consumption only procs when you cast it. But there's a way to kind of just like get infinite resource feedback loop, which is you do a lot of Kapileke that makes Payback into a free basic attack that then consumes all of your resources at full. So you can do Poise Payback, consume all resources, use the weapon, consume all resources, and you can use the Ring of Midnight Sun that gives you 30% of the vigor you spend in the last 2 seconds. So basically you can start, you spend everything, you get like basically everything back, and then you spend everything, you get everything back, and so on. So this is what you can do. As long as you kind of get that loop going where you cast like 2 paybacks in 2 seconds, and then, you know, you can do it like forever basically. Yeah, I can't have more than 1 Devourer active. I tried that already. And I guess it's the same for the others. I don't think you can have more of one of any of these. It's always just like, okay, you know, these are the spirits and there can only be one. So Devourer despawns when you cast a new one. And I guess it'll be same here. Seeker you can't even recast. So yeah. I think there will be a lot more rips next season. At the start for sure. Because there's a lot of new content and, you know, people don't have any idea like how hard everything is gonna be. Can we get healing? Boom. And some utility. This is key passive, right? Yep. What do we get in here? There's a Swift. And more old points, okay. And then we get Apex. We get Intricacy. And then there's like a few more passives all over the place, I guess. And Ravager, I think, goes to 5. Okay, so something like that. Okay. Kind of excited to try this. I think it's gonna feel really good, man. When you have like this endgame setup and you actually have that many resolve stacks and this radius increase works, you're gonna hit like the entire fucking screen, man. With this crushing hands. I think it's gonna feel really fun. Kind of excited to play this at some point. I guess it's like... Free a curse touch, basically. Copy. Okay. From a programming path, one of the two drains has to happen first. Yeah, I guess that is right, but I would not be surprised if they actually made that like work somehow, right? They force it to work or something. Like, I think that's like a pretty obvious combo to do Poised Payback and Rod of Kipeleki. And I would be very surprised if that doesn't synergize in some way. And get them testing ourselves instead of being spoon-fed the best build. Yeah, I mean, it's very likely that, you know, what we are making here is not the best version of a Crushing Hand build. Or, you know, the Stinger build I'm writing is not the best Stinger build. So yeah, no one has really played the class. I'm just trying my best. But yeah. I did spend many hours on these builds, so at least I think I'm on a good path, let's say. Depending on, you know, if you find bugs or whatever. And even if we do find those, we can adjust from there relatively quickly at least. Because, you know, I have looked at every single aspect and every single unique and everything, right? And weighed the options. And I kind of know, okay, this is worth that much, this is worth that much, and so on. And get the best builds as soon as the patch notes drop. Yeah, in the case of Spiritborn, we know for sure anyway. Because even if they drop the patch notes and they show us, okay, these aspects got nerfed and everything, we don't know if the aspects actually work correctly, right? Or if like the mechanics work correctly or whatever, you know, there could be so many potential bugs in like how everything interacts that no one has ever tested. Screenshot crushing sounds good, yeah. It does sound kind of fun, man. Look at this. 220% increase radius. Plus the size temper. So do the size temper here, and then... I mean, the regular size is not very large. What does it compare to? I'm trying to think, like, what is like similar to the Crushing Hand size? That's kind of small, to be fair. It's like maybe the size of like a Twisting Blades rolling around you or so, I would say. But yeah, then you get double size, and then you get radius, and radius is pretty big. Because, you know, the size tempers are actually like area, which means they don't grow that much, but if you increase the radius, like this thing gets large. If you triple the radius. So, that's gonna be interesting. Frozen Orb, yeah, something like Frozen Orb, I guess. I'm trying to make a build of Spirit that uses 3 spirits. Yes, actually. The Stinger build that I made does. The 9 skill points in the tree, and you get 9% per spirit. 9 skill points in the tree? What do you mean after 9 skill points? Have I done anything with the deflection aspect? I have, actually. I made a Razor Wings build that would use the deflection aspect. But I'm not really sure if I believe in it very much. But yeah, if you somehow get to the point where you have like almost permanent counterattack, then you're basically almost permanent immune because you have dodge all the time. Plus you spend the Razor Wings out like crazy. It could be fun. At least for like a farming build or so. But I don't think I can really like push builds. Just damage 2.5. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Pretty sure Harmony is going to get nerfed though. In general, I think we're going to see a lot of nerfs to aspects and uniques on this class before it goes live. I would not be surprised there. Okay. I think he cooked enough on his crushing hands. I kind of like the setup that I made here. Each spirit has a free skill point damage pump. Ah, that's what I mean. Yeah, of course, if you have Harmony, then you can like get like 3 or 6 more points in here. That's actually usually like 2 damage passives that go with a spirit. So he has damage passives, he has damage, he as well, he as well. I guess Gorilla is an exception. And Eagle as well. And looking to Noya Harmony on Thorns would be good, but Razor Blade is kind of weird. Yeah, like my plan for Thorns build would be to go into Jakim Shell and play Low Life with Bruiser's aspect. But the Razor Blade would also work to have like some kind of like good baseline of Thorns. Yeah, it's a bit of a question mark how everything works. I can link the Stinger build here. That's what I made yesterday and finalized. Page on someone will be Plains power nerf. Depends on how much they nerf it. They have to nerf it quite a bit to not be included in many builds. Like, quite a lot. Like, if they don't nerf it by at least 50%, and the same goes for, like, unyielding hits, and the same probably goes for redirected force, I don't think that most of the builds that I made will change very much. They have to be, like, Omega nerf it, like, you know, minus 80% or something. Then maybe we're talking. We'll see. Anyway, guys, unfortunately, only short stream today, so I cooked one build, but it is what it is. I need to go. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Who's streaming? Rax is doing some PoE. That's right, Rax. He's doing Gauntlet. I'd actually like to play some PoE Gauntlet. We'll see if I log in. Armor on Gorilla skills can crit. This unyielding hit stuff is the same as weapon damage. It just means you have a bigger weapon. So yeah, this just multiplies all your damage. It's very good.